Hey, Daniel.
What are you up to?
Well, this is a normal week in the church, right before Christmas. Nothing happens.
Yeah,
so I'm just goofing off.
Well, that's what I'm doing. You heard me at the organ.
Yeah,
practicing, getting in. Of course, I was trying to rehearse "Angels We Have Heard on High," and I got a little carried away with that, improvisation at the beginning. So, it's fun stuff.
So it's, we don't have anything going on this week.
Oh no, of course not. It's just another week in the life of working here at St. Andrews.
Well, we're just like the duck on water. We look real smooth. And,
that's right.
But I think the congregation here at St. Andrews is actually starting to see the angst come out of me, and we were practicing some music yesterday, and then one of my people who's probably watching this, she said, "Hey, I'm going to take some stress away from you. Why don't you do this?" And I said, "What's stress?" So anyway, we're working on a song for Christmas Eve here at St. Andrews, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But so what we're going to talk. This is what really matters. This is episode number 4. Number 4. Daniel is what do we put? Say progressive, liberal.
Left of center.
Left of center, and I'm more of right of center, but
yeah.
You know what?
And of course, we have room for all spectrums in the church. Our politics and our religion are we try to keep those a healthy balance between the two, but at the same time recognizing that this is a wonderful place for people from different backgrounds and perspectives to come and to join together for the greater good.
So actually this morning we had breakfast, and I said, you know what I really like about the Episcopal Church? Again, I'm Father Steve, the priest here at St. Andrews.
And I'm Daniel Weatherholt. I'm the organist and minister of music here at St. Andrews.
And one of the things I said was the Episcopal Church is like 2 movies combined, and this is what really makes the Episcopal Church fun. We're like Christmas Vacation and Animal House, all in one little thing.
Save the neck for me, Father.
I'll save the neck for you, and then during Epiphany we're going to have a toga party. So
there you go.
We'll be all set. Well, here's the thing about what really matters. People think that, justifiably we have to be concerned about things going on in the world, but we lose our focus. We're moving from Advent into Christmas. And it's pretty interesting, people here at St. Andrews have heard me for several weeks talk about how important it is to celebrate Advent and know what Advent is about. Advent is around the second coming, and what happens is we move into Christmas, which is the first coming we move into too early. And my wife and I had celebrated Mass in 2 different places in New York City the last several days, and we were at St. Mary the Virgin, Smoking Mary's on 46th Street in Times Square.
Yes.
And we went to the Mass there, the Noonday Mass, and the priest there, who actually graduated from the same seminary I did in the Neshoda House, he said that when he went to seminary, he remembers one of his liturgical professors saying that we have what we call a liturgical blending of 2 seasons, and that's what happens. And what's really good in our tradition in the Episcopal, the Anglican world, is we celebrate the full life of Christ through the years, and we have seasons. And Christmas is not a one-day thing, as it comes up this Friday this year. It's not a one-day thing, it's a season, and then, it's not like, okay, Christmas Day is over, the Christmas tree's done, and wait till next year. We celebrate a full season. It's not a one-day thing. But Daniel, you and I have talked about how the conspiracy theorists, I got a lot of sermons out of the red Starbucks cup, and I really like the fact that Starbucks did not put snowflakes and Santa Claus on there, and some people, said, well, you know what, Starbucks does not celebrate Christmas, and this is not an advertisement for Starbucks, but I tell you what, just go to Starbucks and you see Christmas everywhere, Christmas flame coffee and this and Christmas cups, and what's really fun about the infamous red cup is I'm able to decorate it. Actually got a sermon with love and peace with our children, and before they went to children's church, and actually they went over and talked about Christmas, and they, you know, the springboard for was what's this all about the red cup, and they said, you know, Christmas is not about a cup. And of course I've actually got to put the Episcopal symbol on there, and they know me at the Starbucks, and they, you know, they'll write Father Steve across the cup. McDonald's.
Go over here to the Clear Spring McDonald's. You can get a purple cup.
A purple cup, Advent cup, and
Advent cup, also Episcopal purple.
Yeah, and it says Advent, and actually I have no idea where Advent and the Episcopal symbol came from, but hey, you know, they have Advent cups at the local McDonald's.
Or for those of us who worship regularly at Washington National Cathedral, like I do, we see a lot of purple cathedral cups, however you want to interpret it.
Yeah. Well, here at St. Andrews, we don't have a real big budget. You know, we still use purple during Advent, but the Sarum Blue is a collar. If somebody out there, you know, we're trying to do a capital campaign here for handicap accessibility, and we try to get through that. But if there's a big donor out there that's got several $1,000s in their pocket that they want to give us Sarum Blue, we would love to have Sarum Blue here at St. Andrews, and that's, you know, move into the Anglican theme of Advent, which would be nice. But one of the things that Daniel and I wanted to talk about is how during this time people get these conspiracy theories. You know, we're doing, you know, Christmas is moving away from this and that. You want to say something about that?
Well, you know, we were talking earlier today about, you see those memes on Facebook where people say, keep Christ in Christmas, keep Christ in Christmas. And of course, Christmas is, the main purpose of Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ.
Right.
You know, sometimes that can get confused with consumerism and whatnot. But I think that, you know, what we were talking about this morning is, you know, if you want to keep Christ in Christmas, we have to start with that ourselves. What does that look like? How do you feel that Christ is not being kept in Christmas?
Exactly. You know, the only person, and this even goes back to like prayer in school. People say, you know, ever since they took prayer out of the school, who has the power to take prayer out of anything? And
who has the power to take Christ out of Christmas? Last time I checked, Walmart, Target, not to attack corporations or anything, but secular consumer ideas don't have the power to take Christ out of Christmas.
No, they don't. And nobody has power to take the prayer out of the school. Who says you can't pray anywhere? Or, you know, who says you can't pray? So God has the power over everything. So nobody says that you can't talk to God. And it was never taken out of the schools. God was never taken out. Prayer was never taken out of the schools. You could pray anywhere. It was a legal thing, and, you know, you couldn't have a scripted prayer, and they couldn't make you say a prayer, but you can pray anywhere. I keep saying anyway, but you can pray anywhere, and Christ is not taking. The only person that can take Christ out of anything is you. You know, we look at our creche. In our tradition, we don't put the Christ child into the creche until Christmas Eve, and we'll have, you know, all the traditions. Normally, they'll have like a little child process in with us and put the Christ child in the creche. And then the wise men, and this is always a funny story, you know, and everybody heard me talk about this. There was a 2-year window before the wise men showed up. We've kind of like convoluted that whole story, putting the wise men at the manger scene. Our wise men are out in the north exit of the church, the foyer of the church, and as we progress towards Epiphany, they will take and be walking up the carpet. Next Sunday, the first Sunday after Christmas, I'm thinking they might be in the windows, or they might even make it to the organ. And then Epiphany, they will be, hey, they have arrived. But, you know, we don't, lighthearted, we talk about, you know, the cups, and this is the Christ child, and, you know, the creche, a child will take in the arrival of what this season is all about. We'll have the Christ child in the creche, but that will not happen until Thursday. Christmas Eve is Thursday, and we have the 2 services. The other thing I want to say, another thing, people, you need to educate yourself on what things mean. Well, you know what? People are lazy. They write Xmas. That is not a lazy symbol. That's a Christogram. Xmas, the Greek letter chi, and the X is a Greek letter, and that means Christ in the Mass. And you want to say something about Christ in Mass?
Well, and I got to thinking.
Move over here. I think we might be moving out. You want to get back to the organ.
I know. I've got a lot of practicing to do before our services on Christmas Eve. But, another thing that I thought about earlier is, another place that nobody can take Jesus out of is the Eucharist.
Exactly.
Right there
Absolutely.
in that tabernacle, Christ is present. Body and blood of Christ, the literal presence of Christ.
Right.
And so I got to thinking, and I've seen various memes like this on Facebook, that one of the ways to keep Christ in Christmas is to keep Mass in Christmas. Christ, Mass, right. The Eucharist. The
Eucharist, right. And in our Episcopal Anglican tradition, which is very close to being Roman Catholic, as a Roman Catholic priest friend of mine said, you're more Catholic than I am. Our focus is around the sacrament. As I said to the congregation, yes, we are a Bible-believing church. We preach the Word, but we focus around the Word, but we focus around the sacrament. The sacrament is where we are fed, or where we're renewed every week, and the body and blood of Christ is in us, and that's why we put the sacrament so elevated, and it's why we just, it's why in the Anglican tradition, the Episcopal tradition, the Roman Catholic, and other
the
Orthodox is why we don't pass around little glasses and cups. You come to the altar. This is our altar call every week, as you come to receive the body of Christ, and it's elevated, and it's just not indiscriminately dispersed. And what I mean by indiscriminately, I mean by anybody in the pews can take and handle it. We put so much elevation in the body and blood of Christ in the sacrament that you come forward and receive, and it's why, in order to celebrate and consecrate, it has to be done by a priest or a bishop, because of the training and all that, and the theology behind that. So it is important to us. Here at St. Andrew's, we will have 2 services on Christmas Eve. The 7 o'clock service is going to be partially in Spanish. We have a congregation. Yeah, that's actually almost our whole congregation. We have visitors that come from the country of Chile. They're working at the local ski resort, and they're up there, and they will be here. And so it's really nice. And this year we're going to throw out some more of their native language in the Eucharist with the Gospel, and during the blessing and that type of thing, and the distribution of communion. And then at 11:15. You talk about the 11:15 service. And what is going to be a high mass?
Yes, it's a high mass. We have incense. We have all the favorite Christmas carols by candlelight here, and it's just a glorious celebration. And getting back to what we were saying about the Eucharist, this table here at St. Andrew's or at St. Mark's in Lappins, where I also work, any Episcopal church or Anglican church near you. This is not the Episcopal Church's table.
There's no copyright on it.
This is the Lord's table. If you are a baptized Christian from anywhere across the spectrum, you are welcome to join us for Holy Communion here. And we encourage you to come and do so, and to receive the body and blood of the risen Christ with us on Christmas.
Absolutely. As I said, we have no copyright on this altar. Mm-hmm. You're baptized in the Trinitarian formula of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. This is your altar. This is your table, and you come, and don't withhold yourself from that. And you say, well, I don't know if I'm baptized. Well, don't allow that to keep you from coming to the altar rail, because you will receive a blessing, and you will be blessed by being here. So anything else we got going on? You're going to play a little more piece, and we're going to...
Yeah, I've got to get back to practicing, of course. Busy time of year for all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, this is the ultimate Christmas feast that we will be having here. Before we get our turkeys and our hams and everything all ready, or whatever else you might be eating, come and join us for this feast as well too. You are welcome here, and from wherever you are, whatever background you come from, if you were conservative, if you were liberal, you know, wherever you are, gay or straight, black or white, you are welcome here at this table.
Yeah, you're welcome here, and you know, it's, you know, every one of us has a heart, and every one of us has a need, and every one of us is experiencing something maybe this Christmas season that you did not experience last season, or you lost them. I lost my mom this year. This is my first Christmas.
I lost my grandfather.
You lost your grandfather. This is my first Christmas without my mom. So it's important to me, you know, to be surrounded by people that love us. And at our 11:15 service, in addition to Daniel having some very special music for that service, we'll have our violinist.
Yes, Alexander Marte will be joining us.
Right.
Mark Patterson will be singing as he did at our Lessons and Carol
solo,
service.
so
Our wonderful parishioner who usually sits over there on Sunday mornings and kind of helps to lift up our congregation in song.
Exactly, and we'll be dimming the lights, and Silent Night we'll have that, and the lights will go dim, and they will stay dim till the service is over, and it'll be more candlelight. And we really look forward to you being here, and this is our 4th episode of What Really Matters. We may have one coming out right before Lent, and what Lent is about, and it's going to be early this year. I don't even want to move into that. I don't even want to think about that, because it's like, okay, give me time to breathe, but let's take and get through and finish up Advent here and get right into the Christmas season. So, Daniel, I got work to do. I got to prepare a message.
Yep, I'm going to get back to the organ, but thank you so much,
Okay.
and we hope to see you here with us on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and we're going to send you out with some music.
Yes.
God bless.
God bless.